Okay, here's how the fifth challenge works. We get a positive integer n, and then we're asked to print out the square of all the numbers, all the positive integers between 0 and n. So if n was 3, the positive integers would be 0, 1, and 2, so the corresponding squares would be 0, 1, and 4. We'll achieve this using a for loop. If you have no idea what a for loop is, that's okay. I'll make a separate video and I'll link it in the description as soon as it's done. Okay, so let me give you the syntax for the solution and then I'll walk you through how it works. So I'll start with for I in a range from 0 to n. We'll define a variable called square, and that's going to be equal to I times I, and then we'll print that variable. And that's it. Let's run this code and see how it works. Yep, that's all good. Okay, so let's understand why this works. In a for loop, the first thing that we do is we declare a loop variable. In this case, we call it I, but you can give it whatever name you want. I is very common in this context. And then I will take on different values that are provided by the iterator object, which in this case, we're generating using the range function. So here we're providing two values to the range function. And in return, the range function will give us effectively a list of integers between these two numbers. It'll include the first number, but it will only go up to the second number minus 1. So if our n here is equal to 3, then the numbers that we would get would be 0, 1, 2, and not 3. Now, when we run through this loop now, I will take on each of the numbers generated by the range function. So starting with 0, we would calculate square here, and it would be 0 times 0 equals 0. We would print this. Then it would go to the next number, which would be 1. It would go 1 times 1 equals 1, print that, and so on. So let's submit our code to see how we handled all the other test cases. Yep, all good, success. Great. So this can be a little bit difficult in the beginning to wrap your head around if you're completely new to programming, but these for loops are super important, and it's really worth spending a little bit of time playing around with it and understanding how this works. But as far as this challenge is concerned, our work is done and we're on to the next one. See you there.